Disclaimer: it was a fanfiction story created by me. Please don't take it seriously. There is no match in this story and real life.
And she will get away. She left everything behind, her brother, her friends, her love, that love which remained unfinished. There was love, but it wasn't meant for her. It was closet, never written in her destiny. One went on her path without telling anyone anything, just waiting to go far from everyone. She even left her mobile phone behind so no one could find any clue about her. On the other side, Owen's message had reached Liam's phone. After some time, when Liam finally picked up his phone, he saw the notification of Owen's message. He opened it and started reading. And the moment he did it, a shock ran through his chest. In the fear of losing his sister, his heartbeat sped up. Instantly, he immediately dialed Owen's number, but it was useless. Her phone was switched off. Hearing the switched off tone, Liam's breath turned uneven, his hands and legs started trembling with panic. His mind went blank with fear. Without wasting a second, he quickly called Amy. After four rings, Amy picked up the call, and the moment she answered, Liam, panicking badly, rushed his words and asked her quickly. Liam, where is wine, Amy? Amy confused. She must be somewhere here. Why? Liam, please find her quickly. Please just check where she is. Liam's painful words and his shaking crying voice were enough for Amy to feel that something was seriously wrong. Amy tensed. Liam, what happened? Why are you crying? And Liam, Amy, first, please just look for her. See where she is. I will come there and tell you everything. Amy shocked. You are coming here right now, you know, right? By the time you reach here, it will be really late at night. Liam crying. I don't care, Amy. I just want my sister. Please check where she is. I am leaving the house right now, and I will try to reach there as fast as I can. Till then, please find my sister. Amy tensed. Okay, Liam, I will check where Ryan is. Please, you be careful while coming. Liam didn't say anything more and cut the call in a hurry. And honestly, what could he even say? Just reading his sister's message had already broken him from inside. No matter what happens, he cannot lose his sister. She is his whole life, his heartbeat. Meanwhile, after talking to Liam, Amy also became restless and started searching for Owen. Seeing her so worried, Ellen asked her, Ellen, at least tell me what happened. Why are you searching for Owen in such a hurry? Amy worried because Liam just called it. He was crying a lot on the call. Something definitely happened. He kept saying only one thing to find Owen. Hearing that, Ellen also became confused and a little tense. Then let's go and ask Mr. Jeon because Owen was with him just a while ago. Amy, okay. Both of them started looking for Jeon. The old hotel was already in chaos because of the cafe had caught. After searching everywhere, they finally found Jeon sitting in one corner of the hotel lobby. He was holding his head with both hands, clearly stressed, and on the sofa beside him, Rose was sitting with her son in her arm, trying to calm him down. Jeon, Ellen, and Amy quickly rushed toward him. The moment Jeon saw their worried, almost panicked faces, he looked confused and asked them, and what happened to you both, and where is Wine? Listening to that question, both of them became even more shocked and scared, their hearts dropping with fear. I mean, Wine was with you, right? Jenny, yes, but when I went to bring Rose out of the cafe and came back, Wine wasn't there. Ellen, then where did she go? Ellen said it with a little frustration, his voice tight with fear. John, what do you mean by where did she go? She must be somewhere here. Maybe she went to her room. Amy, curious, she's not here anywhere. I checked every place. Saying that, Amy finally broke down and started crying. Hearing her words and the fear in her voice, Jeon also felt that something was seriously wrong. His stomach tightened with dread. Jeon immediately stood up from his chair, panicking, rising his chest, and he quickly asked Amy, Jen, Amy, what happened and how can I not be here like this? Jen's face clearly showed worry and fear. His eyes were restless, his jaw tight, his whole expression filled with tension. Seeing him like that, Amy finally told him everything about Liam. How he had called, how he was crying, how desperate he sounded. The moment Jeon heard that Liam was crying, something inside him twisted painfully. His chest felt heavy, his mind started racing with dark thoughts. Without wasting even a second, Jeon suddenly turned it and started running toward the upper floor. His voice sharp with urgency. Jen, I am going to find wine. Ellen and Amy ran after Jeon, and once again everyone started searching for wine together. Rose gave her son to one of the hotel staff members, and she also began looking for wine for hours. All of them searched the entire hotel, the cafe around the hotel, every place they possibly could, every corner where wine might be, but nothing worked. No one found wine. Her suddenly disappearing like this broke everyone. Amy and Ellen were crying. Rose was worried and scared. But Jeon, he looked completely drained, as if the life had left his body. He couldn't even breathe properly anymore. A terrible fear of something happening had fully taken over his heart. All of them gathered again in the hotel lobby. Jeon immediately told the hotel manager to bring all the CCTV footage from around the hotel. They needed to know which direction wine went, whether she left alone or someone forced her. Every details matter now. The manager rushed to get the footage, and right then, stumbling and almost falling, Liam entered the hotel. His eyes were swollen from non-stop crying, his face was red, and his hair was completely messy. The moment Liam stepped inside, his gaze fell on Jeon, and anger exploded inside him. He turned straight toward Jeon, grabbed him by the collar, and shouted with all the pain in his chest, "Liam, here is my sister. What have you done that she left everyone and went away?" Liam was shouting about. Tears kept falling from his eyes non-stop. Jeon himself was already drawing in worry and tension because one was missing. And now hearing Liam's words, his heart cracked even more. His own eyes filled with tears, and he finally spoke in a broken voice. "John, Liam, I don't know where one is. Liam, she left all of us because of you." Saying that, Liam let go of Jeon's collar, his strength collapsing as he broke down crying. Amy quickly pulled him into her arms, holding him tightly. "Will he sobbed?" But Jeon stood there still in shock, still confused, like his mind couldn't process what he just heard. With trembling lips, he asked, "Jeon, what do you mean she left all of us?" When Jeon asked that, Liam took out his phone with shaking hands and showed him the message Wayne had sent. The moment everyone read it, they all froze. Whatever little hope they were holding onto shattered completely. Amy was crying silently. Ellen's eyes were filled with tears too. And Jeon, he still refused to believe it. His mind just went step that Wayne had really walked away from all of them. "Jeon, this can't be true. She can leave everything like this. How can she go like that? It's not possible. Liam, you tell me, how could she leave everyone like this? What did you do with her?" "Amy, she went to meet you on the terrace, right? She went there to tell you what was in her heart. So what suddenly happened that made her take..." John felt even more shocked, his chest tightening with guilt and fear. "John, what do you mean by what was in her heart? Ellen, didn't you two say anything to each other?" "John, no. Before we could even talk, that happened in the cafe and we left. But what is it that she wanted to tell me? What was in her heart that she needed to say?" His voice was heavy, trembling with confusion and regret, his mind struggling to understand one sudden despair. Amy closed her eyes and tears kept streaming down her face. Her voice was trembling as she finally spoke. "Amy, she was going to confess her love to you." Were those words not enough to shake Jeon to his soul? They were, because hearing Amy say that, Jeon felt like he couldn't even believe it. His eyes filled with tears, his lips trembling as he asked, "Jeon, what?" Amy sobbing, "Yes, she loved you endlessly, and today she was going to confess that love to you." Tears were streaming down John's face, but he couldn't believe it. The girl he had fallen so deeply in love with, she loved him too. Really, he had always held himself back, thinking that one saw him only as her at most just a friend, nothing more. John had always wondered why would a girl like her even like someone so much than her. And if he had confessed his feelings, maybe one would have distances herself. Maybe their relationship would never be the same again. Thinking all this, he had controlled himself all these days. But now, hearing from Amy about one's true feelings, it felt as if all the happiness in the world had come to him, every wish in his life fulfilled. He was so overjoyed that he grabbed Liam's shoulder with both hands, shaking him gently, and kept repeating, "Jeon, tell me, Liam, is this true? Does one really love me? Did she tell you? When did she tell you? Since when has she loved me? How did I not realize that she loved me? Could it be possible that she really..." Now Liam suddenly burst out. Actually, Jeon had become so happy knowing that Wayne loved him too that he had completely forgotten Wayne was still missing. She was gone. Anger and worry took over Liam. Pushing Jeon slightly, he shouted, his voice trembling with panic and frustration. Liam, yes, she loves you, and it's not just a casual attraction. She loves you deeply, endlessly, and it didn't start today. It started back then, the night you gave her shelter at your home during the rain. Since that moment, she had started falling for you, getting angry at small things, feeling jealous when any girl came close to you. All of that happened because she loved you. But Jeon didn't seem to notice Liam's anger at all, nor did he fully understood. Overcome with happiness, he hugged Liam tightly, laughing loudly and joyfully, his heart bursting with excitement. Jeon, oh Liam, I might go crazy from happiness. Oh my Liam, you can't even imagine how much I love your sister. Liam, Amy, and Alan stared at him in shock. Somewhere deep inside, they all had a teeny fear. What if Jeon didn't feel the same for Wayne? What if her love was one-sided? But today, after seeing Jeon's reaction, hearing the raw emotion in voice, watching him break down with happiness, their doubts shook. Liam, still a little hesitant, spoke softly. Liam, you also love her? Jeon loosened the hug and looked straight at Liam. Jeon, yes, Liam, I love Wayne too deeply and from the very beginning. Those words brought a sudden calm to Liam's heart. A small hope lit up inside him. Maybe Wayne was just pulling a prank, maybe nothing bad happened between. And Jeon, after reading her message, Liam had feared the worst. Maybe something happened between them, or maybe Jeon rejected her love. But now he understood. Wayne never even got the chance to confess. Nothing had happened between them, and Jeon loved her too. So maybe she was just teasing them. Before Liam could say anything or breathe properly, the hotel manager came rushing toward them. He showed Jeon a laptop screen and said, "Manager sir, here is the footage of the entire hotel and all the areas around the hotel." The manager's words hit Jill like a punch in that moment. Reality came crashing him back. One was missing, completely gone. The happiness he felt just a few minutes ago, like sunshine breaking through dark clouds, suddenly twisted into a sharp, painful fear. His heartbeat started racing hard, almost hurting in his chest. Because now Jeon had a trivial feeling, a feeling that maybe one misunderstood something. He remembered how he had said he went to save Rose, how he came back holding her, carrying her out of danger. He remembered when watching that scene, and he remembered that when knew about his old university crush on Rose. A cold shiver ran down his spine. What if Wayne thought he still loved Rose? What if she believed he chose Rose over her? What if that misunderstanding pushed her to walk away? But right now, Jeon didn't have any feelings like that for Rose, not even a little. The only reason he saved her, the only reason he carried in that moment was because there was a much bigger truth behind it. A truth one didn't know. Thinking all this, Jeon's hand had started trembling. He slowly took the laptop from the manager and opened the footage of the cafe area. He kept cutting the clip, zooming in, rewind, searching, and then the moment finally appeared. The exact scenes where Jeon ran inside the cafe to save Rose. The moment he carried her out, he watched the footage. The truth hit him like a storm. It didn't take him even a second to understand what must have happened. At once saw everything, and she misunderstood everything because there on the screen one was crying. Her face was red, broken, shaking. She stepped back, then back again, walking away from everyone, from every voice. And finally she sat down on the ground alone, crying like she had lost her old world. Seeing her like that, Jeon's heart cracked open. Tears slipped from his eyes without warning, and his grip on the laptop loosened until the laptop slipped from his shaking hands and fell on the floor. All of them watched the footage, and that was the moment Liam finally realized the truth. His sister wasn't joking. She wasn't breaking anyone. She had genuinely left, completely silently, painfully. Jeon's body froze, and then everything inside him collapsed at once. He dropped on to the floor, knees hitting the ground, and a raw, heartbreaking scream tore out of his. He cried loudly, helplessly, like a man who had just lost the one person that mattered more than his own breath. Seeing him like that, Rose was shaken to the core. She had known Jeon for years, but she had never seen him broken like this, never this defeated, never this shattered. thought his own tears. Liam looked at Jeon and shouted, voice cracking with fear and confusion. Liam, what is going on? Why was my sister crying like that? Who is this girl? What is your relationship with her? And because of her, did Wayne leave all of us? Every word Liam spoke trembled with pain, fear of his sister, anger at the situation, and desperate need to understand what destroyed her. Jin couldn't speak at all, not a single word. He just sat there on the floor, crying, broken, defeated, blaming his own fate again and again in his heart. Because today, after so many years, the time he finally fell in love with someone, truly fell in love, that same girl had gone far away from him. Poor Jeon, the girl he tried so hard to keep close, the girl for whom he buried his own feelings deep inside, the girl he protected by staying silent because he was scared of losing her. Today, that same silence had taken her away from him. Every moment with her, every smile, every conversation, every time she walked beside him, all those memories suddenly came rushing back, standing right in front of his eyes like a painful slideshow he couldn't escape. Seeing Jung like that, Rose was also feeling bad because after watching the footage, she understood everything. Even though she didn't watch it, she was still somewhere responsible for the distance between Jeon and Wan today. Watching Jeon's condition, Rose realized that Jeon was not in a state to speak, to understand anything right now. And honestly, how could he be? He had finally found love after years and still ended up losing it. This kind of pain, only someone who has gone through it can truly understand that feeling of being so close yet never really having them. So Rose decided that she herself would explain everything, and she said, Rose, I will tell you what relationship Jeon and I have, and why Jeon saved me like that, and why he was taking care of me. Now everyone's eyes stayed fixed on Rose, and with tears filling her eyes, she slowly began to share the painful story of her life, every hurt, every wound she had carried alone. Rose, I was in love with a boy since my university days. Everyone knew it, even Jeon. Everything was fine back then. After finishing our studies, both of us met each other's family. My parents, his parents, everyone was happy with our relationship. In his family, he had no one except his mother. My father arranged our wedding with a lot of celebration. And even after marriage, everything stayed good, peaceful, full of hope. 2 years passed just like then I decided it was the right time to have a baby. And from that moment on, slowly I began to see the real faces of my and his. They didn't leave any chance to me or trouble me. Those two made my life heavy and painful. They only had one thing to say every single day, that they wanted it at any cost. And honestly, what could I do? A son or daughter, that's something only God gives. But still I kept patient and kept praying with all my heart that I would have a son. And it happened too. I gave birth to a baby boy, and everyone became happy. For a moment I felt like finally everything would become normal again, just like before. For a few years things were going fine, and I started believing that maybe life was becoming peaceful again. But one day suddenly, without telling anyone, I went to my husband's office to surprise him, and that's when I came to know his real truth. He was having an with the CEO of his own office, and he was telling his girlfriend, my wife's is done now. I just have to get rid of. Now just think, if the person you love the most is, how would your heart feel? How deep that heartbreak? How scary that betrayal would be? I completely broke down inside. In pain and anger, I made a huge mistake. A mistake I still regret. This I had heard everything by and me back home, and that's when I finally saw my true face too. She was also involved with them. I still can understand how a human being can fall so low, become this. The moment they home, my at her son and said, "Do you know what my own husband said about?" He said, "No, mom. Why should?" Hearing that from the man I once trusted, it felt like every part of me broke at once. My whole world collapsed in a single second. Then I understand how low they all were inside them. In that moment, everything became clear. My dad is a very rich man, and my husband had married me only because he thought he would. Maybe he would have really got it, but I was the one who never took a single thing from my dad. I trusted my marriage, I trusted. After the wedding, I left everything behind and shifted to another country with him that day with trembling hands and in my arms. But even then, They kept following, as if running my life. I reached here, but even after coming this far, I know the from me and my son went to this place. That fear, that shadow, it never leaves my mind. That is why I went to Jeon's room. I told him everything, every truth I was hiding, every pain I was carrying, and I took a promise from him to protect me and my son until my father arrives. I already called my father, and he might come today, maybe any moment. Until then, I only asked Jeon for safety. Nothing wrong between us. I had decided that once my father comes, I will live with him, holding my son close and going far away from this. And Jeon also told me about his feeling for wine. I know how much Jeon loves wine. What happened today in the cafe, I feel like be behind this. But trust me, there is nothing between us. Jeon truly loves wine a lot. This is just a misunderstanding. And if I had known something like this will happen, I would never have asked Jeon for help. After hearing Rose's life story, everyone's eyes filled with tears and everyone felt bad for her. She is not a bad girl, but fate has treated her very because of one misunderstanding. Everything that happened today, will it ever get fixed? Will Liam be able to find his sister again? Will John ever complete his half-finished love story, the one he never got the chance to hold properly? Will John ever find out where Wayne truly is, or will life push their story onto a completely different path? What will happen in the journey ahead? How will Jeon survive each day? Will he accept one's absence and learn to live with the emptiness she left behind? Or will her absence become the final destination of Jeon's life, the only truth his heart kept